I'm ready to talk to you a little bit about how it's been going here at home. I've been working from home for about 3, maybe 4 weeks now. I'll have to do that math, but right now it's just not worth it. And I've kind of put together a routine, some little tips and tricks to kind of like help me feel productive during the day. And so I thought, what a great way to help out than to share it with you. So today I'm going to share my tips and tricks for working at home and how to make yourself feel productive. I have 5 steps to making me feel ready to work and ready to take on the day. And so here we go. Let's start with number 1. So first things first, the first thing I do every single day, and this is paramount, is I make my bed. I get up in the morning and I put my sheets together and I make my bed, because if you make the bed, if you make it look nice, then you don't want to get back in it. And I know how tempting it is. My office, this is my bed, and my office is literally right there. I have it in my bedroom because, I mean, that's the best place for me to have it, in the house. And it's just, making my bed is paramount to making sure that I have a productive day and that I don't get back in my bed. So that's the first thing I do in the morning. There's a trend by a person on Instagram that I follow. She's a fitness guru, just like all around super like inspirational. I've linked her Instagram below. And she's been challenging everybody to have #no messy beds. And so since quarantine started, that was one of my goals, was to make sure I didn't have a messy bed ever. Every single day I made my bed. So this is my nicely made bed, and I will show you the process of me making it now. So step 2. Step 2 is really simple. It's getting fully ready for your day. And I mean fully ready. I mean hair, I mean makeup, I mean getting dressed. No, you don't have to dress like you're going to the office. For a couple of days I did like office wear, but like not really. Mostly just my top. Like I would wear a button-down shirt, a nicer one, or like a blouse that I would have worn to the office, mostly because I had a Zoom call meeting or something. But otherwise, I just wore something comfortable, but like something that made me feel human. So today I wore this London sweatshirt that my mom got for me at Target, and these black jeans. This was my outfit today. This was what made me feel human today, and, you know, helped me get my work done. So that was really all I did for today, was put on some jeans and a sweatshirt, and I felt ready. I also did my hair today, and I did my makeup. I used a brow pencil, a brow gel, an eyeliner, and a mascara, and that's it. Well, also a moisturizer, because the skin is dry. If you guys want to know a little bit more about my makeup routine, ask me below or DM me on Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to share that with you. It takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to do my makeup and about a half hour to do my hair. I do my hair with a straightener, so it takes a little bit of time. But I picked a very high maintenance hairstyle when I went to the hairdresser last, so there's that. And yeah, just kind of making sure that my hair is done, my makeup's done, even if it's just like taking a shower in the morning and then putting my hair in a ponytail. My hair, I've done something with it. I didn't just leave it down. I didn't just, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's clean, it's up, it's ready for the day. So just putting clothes on, making sure that my hair and makeup are done, that if I was on a Skype call, I would look lively and my face would be glowing and happy. And, you know, just like you could see my eyes and eyebrows, because for some god-awful reason, even though I've got like black hair, my eyebrows are super light. So, you know, it's about presence, but it's mostly about what makes you feel good. So if you don't care about makeup, if that's not something that makes you feel human, then don't do it. You need to get ready the way that you would for a day at home with your friends, going to the park. Like, if you were gonna see another human, how would you dress? How would you do your hair? How would you do your makeup? You're not trying to impress anybody. You're not trying to look good for anybody but you. But the point of it is making you feel ready for the day and making you feel human. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is actually really simple. It's creating a schedule that you will stick to. Okay? This is so important because when you go to the office, you have a schedule. You get up at a certain time, you get ready, you have a certain time you have to leave the house, you have a commute that you have to make, you have like some things you have to do to make sure you get to the office on time and you're at work when you're supposed to be at work. So setting yourself a daily schedule, having the day to do exactly what you need to do is so important because you're doing these things, you're doing this work day from home where you're normally going to the office. So making sure that you've convinced yourself that you have this day that you have to complete is so important. You have to remind yourself pretty much daily to get up at the same time, to do something in that time that you normally would have been going to the office. Like, those are so important, and it's really, really, really important to remind yourself to get up and get going. One of the things that I do is I get up every day at 7 because when I was going to work, now I work at 10 o'clock, I'm super lucky, which means I get to sleep in, which a lot of people don't get to do. So I understand if you normally have to be at work at 7 and you want to sleep in a little bit, I get that, but still give yourself a time to wake up in the morning and still give yourself a time that you have to start working. Because if you have free reign and you just I have to complete this many hours in 1 week, it's not going to work for you because you're going to give yourself a window where you could just be doing nothing and slacking off. And it's unfortunate because when you're at home and you're supposed to be getting work done, it is so hard. There's so many distractions. When we're at the office, we have maybe a couple things. I have a cute little unicorn notebook that I like to doodle in at work when I want to get distracted, or I could pull up Pinterest or whatever. But when I'm at home, I have my camera, I have my makeup, I have this, I just bought a glass teapot that I'm absolutely in love with. So I want to play with that. I just have all of these things that can distract me and all of these things that I want to do other than doing my work. So one of the most paramount things for me is setting a schedule. Okay, I work today from 10 to 4. At 4 o'clock, I can go paint, or I can go color in my Shakespeare coloring book. Setting a schedule is it's just you can't have a productive day without setting yourself a schedule. Other ways that you can help yourself do that is by making a checklist. And making a schedule for yourself. So if you're working from home on school, something that you can do is, if you don't have classes anymore, I don't know if you're doing Zoom classes or how you're doing classes, but if you are doing classes from home, setting yourself a schedule from 10 to 10:30, I will work on this. From 10:30 to 11, I'll work on this. That is going to keep you accountable because the only person you're letting down is you. And that's the most important thing, is holding yourself accountable and making sure you're doing things in a perfect time frame and that everything is fitting together. That way you don't give yourself much room to slide and not be as productive. Another part of that is just making sure you're doing things that you would normally do in your routine. If you eat breakfast every morning, doing that. And so even if that's not something you did do before and it's something you want to start doing, I think that building that into your schedule is actually a great thing to do in this time when you have the time to do it. But if you have a schedule that you if there's something that made you feel productive before, I know that for me, my commute really made me feel ready for the day. My roommate told me about a friend of hers who actually ended up, she had a 20-minute commute before all of this happened. So what she did was she would go for a 20-minute walk before she started work, because that would be in place of her commute, and it would be a useful use of that time, and it would also make her feel productive. So something that my roommate started doing after hearing that story is she takes a travel mug. We have this set of Starbucks travel mugs that my college roommate, shout out to Kara, got me for Christmas, and she uses one every morning to put her coffee in, and it makes her feel like she has left the house and is doing work. So that's like just little ways to trick your brain into getting ready for the day, even if it's not like the same as setting a schedule, like it is, and it's not the same as going to work. Obviously it never will be, but just doing those things. Like every day when I was at work, I made a cup of tea, and I make sure that I have a cup of tea with me while I'm doing my work, and that I'm doing things. And I used to eat at my desk every single day. So one thing that I do not do is I don't take a lunch break. I don't go to the table or sit in my bed for lunch. I eat lunch at my desk. Even if I don't work while I'm eating, I eat lunch right at my desk because it makes me feel like I'm in that atmosphere. So here's tip number 4. Tip number 4 is actually really easy and super simple, but we're all doing things that are going to be really distracting to us. So something that I found to be so helpful right now is to just remove all of those distractions. When working from home, you want to think of decluttering your desktop as a priority. As you can see here, I have several tabs open, and a lot of these don't have anything to do with my workday, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and I'm going to say, okay, this one's for work. This one's not. This one is. This one is not. This one is. This one is. This one is. This one is. This one is not. So I'm just clearing out all of the tabs on my computer that would bring me any kind of distraction, because I know seeing Facebook up here or whatever would really make me want to click on it and look through it and not do my work. So just clearing that away, making sure that you have any way to avoid, that kind of distraction. That's the best way to keep yourself on task when you're sitting at your desk. Just making sure to declutter your desktop, keep things off your desk that are going to distract you, and just making sure that you're really keeping yourself on task. As you can see, every morning I clear my browser like I just did. So what that really helps me do is so if there's tabs open like Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest, I'm going to go and I'm going to click on those because they're going to be something that I'm interested in more than my work. So I try to put those things on the back burner, and all of the tabs that I have open, I want to be work related. I don't want to see a tab that's the scores from the competition that I'm participating in right now, or I don't want to see like what everybody's posting on Facebook. I want to stay away from that. Another thing that I do is I try to make my phone completely unusable. So like I either turn it off or put it away from me, or because I often get phone calls from my bosses, I'll like watch Netflix while I'm working, which like some people can't do. Like it's not just because they're like not capable, it's just like some people are easily distracted, which like I think that I would be, but something that I found to really help for me is when two things are happening at once. So I'll put Netflix on as like my background noise, and then I'll work on my projects while I'm watching like Bones or whatever show I'll be watching. Last month it was Grey's Anatomy, now it's Bones. So I just put it on, and then I don't want to use my phone. You know what I mean? I don't want to be swiping through Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, because it takes away from that background noise that helps me like kind of zones me in. So I completely forget about my phone. It just sits there until it vibrates or rings, and then I'm like, okay, so this might be something important, and I check it. But I usually try to stay away from using my phone as much as possible and put it somewhere, or have it doing something that like makes it inconvenient for me to use it. You know what I mean? Like you want to make sure that you're making your phone like a non-entity. Like you don't want to be thinking about it. You don't want to see it, whatever. So for me, converting that into like my background noise or like my side entertainment or whatever is like the way that I kind of do away with like thinking about my phone. And last but not least, tip number 5. Tip number 5, again, is really super simple. I think that I wanted all of these tips to be something that you kind of do already, but like I wanted to be here to remind everybody that like doing these things and remembering to do these things is so simple and just like so easy to put together. Tip number 5 is something you probably already do every single day, and if you're not doing it, starting to do it might make that whole bunch of difference that you needed. Tip number 5 is make to-do lists, because it's so important. Every day when I start my workday, I start by putting everything, I go through my email item by item, and I see everything that my bosses have asked me to do for the day, and I write it down on a piece of paper. I make a complete to-do list. So I often make my to-do list in my planner, which is something that I can show you. Here I have my happy planner. I love this planner because it's customizable. These little rings, they turn 360, okay? Each individual one, and these, they're not like, I can pull pages in and out with ease, and which means I can also put pages in. And so it makes this a little more customizable. And something I love about this is you can buy sticker pack extensions for these, and they come in all different forms. So I just got one of these packs for my little sister because she's having a really hard time working from home on her schoolwork, and she's a senior, so it's really important that she gets everything done. And I'm trying to help her get a little more organized. And something that I have suggested to her is making these to-do lists, because they've been so paramount in changing the way that I look at my workload. So this is kind of what one day will look like for me. I have a sticker at the top that will be kind of cutesy and like remind me that these are the things I need to do for today. And then I have my to-do list. And as I get things done, I check off these little heart bubbles. And then these are things that I have to do. There's the back burner is like things I have to do but aren't super important. And then I have like other things that are really important. If I have an appointment, I put it there, and then a reminder to do something in the evening that makes me happy. And that day it just happened to be working out. I also like to doodle in the weekend column because it reminded me that things were going to happen that were going to be super happy and super exciting. That specific weekend, my nieces were coming, so that was really exciting. So yeah, I just take my planner and I use the productivity sticker package. This has lots of stickers about like to-do lists and things that need to get done. Do it now, appointments, work, home, school, those kinds of things to kind of help you piece together your day. A lot of the productivity sticker package is for adults, not school students, because it is more work focused. There is a student package, and that is what I bought for my sister. And I can tell you guys a little bit about that in a different video. But looking into the Create 365 Happy Planner stuff, I wholeheartedly 100% recommend it. I think it's absolutely a great way to keep track of everything that you need to do for the day, and it is so much fun. I love writing stuff down. I love making to-do lists. I use this at work, but I also use it at home. When I'm at work, though, I have a little pad that has a little unicorn at the top, and I make that my to-do lists because then I can like pull them off the pad, and I have these cute little binder clips that I clip them all together. So if somebody had asked me, hey, what did you do on Wednesday? Then I could pull out my list and be like, okay, here's what I did on Wednesday. Keeping it in your planner is also a great way to do that. But to-do lists are so great at making sure you know what you have that you can work on for the day. It's really all about give and take and kind of like learning what your to-do list system would be like. So that's it. Okay, guys, so that's all I've got for you today. Now, remember, make your bed, get ready for the day, remove all distractions, set a routine, and make a to-do list. These are my 5 tips for making your work from home day as productive as possible. I think this helps me kind of turn an atmosphere into something that's really, something different, something new. I like to make my day as productive as possible. It is really hard when you're working from home and you have very limited space to move yourself from your bedroom. Like I had to set my office up in my bedroom. Even though it's not my bed, I created a separate space to kind of like get myself out of my bed, which, making the bed helped with that, but just reminding myself that every day is a new day and that there's work to be done. And even though I'm not going to the office, and as much as I miss the office, it does feel good to get things done and to be able to tell my bosses that I completed everything that they needed me to do, and just knowing that I'm making progress in the things that I need to make progress on is super, super important. So I hope that you guys found these tips helpful, and that you're able to use a little bit of it to kind of make your work from home day a little bit easier. I really love hanging out with you guys and giving you tips and talking to you about my quarantine activities. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'd love to use your suggestion in a video. Give me a shout out in the comments, DM me on Instagram at @theoriginalrosebud. So guys, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Hit the little bell so that you get notifications every time I post a new quarantine advice or activity, and never miss quarantine activity with me. See you later.